Okay, so about that Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. It looked, yeah, it looked pretty good. I would say I'm genuinely excited for the movie, but wait 1 second. This movie is a sequel to Homecoming, which is a movie that's not great and not bad, but also not great in my opinion, and I need to talk about my opinions on Homecoming before I talk about my opinions on this movie. Okay, let's go. So, Spider-Man Homecoming. Let's talk about my opinions on Spider-Man Homecoming. Keep in mind, this is an opinion, not a fact. I really liked Homecoming. I didn't love Homecoming. I liked it. I didn't hate Homecoming. I liked it. I didn't think it was an amazing Spider-Man movie. I liked it. Here, let me explain this a little bit for you. So, initially when I saw Homecoming in theaters, I loved it. I thought it was the greatest, most beautiful put-together masterpiece ever invented. I thought it was the best Spider-Man movie we could have ever asked for. But my opinions have changed, alright? Now, listen, like I said, I don't hate Spider-Man Homecoming. I don't dislike it at all, in fact. I enjoy the movie as a whole, and I have watched it at least 5 times in the theaters and at home, like including both of those. And I've enjoyed it every single time. I think it has some good comedy, a good plot, and it's entertaining. However, Spider-Man Homecoming does not do anything to excite me about the character of Spider-Man at all. See, a movie can be good, but not great. Spider-Man Homecoming is not great. I can't say I genuinely am excited, jumping for joy about the future of this Spider-Man. Like I said, at first I was, but ever since the release of Spider-Man PS4 and Into the Spider-Verse, I don't think Spider-Man Homecoming truly captured the character of Spider-Man. See, Spider-Man PS4 I didn't just like. I loved Spider-Man PS4. Spider-Man PS4 made me fall in love with the character of Spider-Man, with his amazing world and the endless possibilities in it. It was a great game with great combat, great controls, but most importantly, a great story. Spider-Man PS4 is the only game that has ever made me cry. I cried at the end when Aunt May died. I felt remorse for Miles when his dad died. All the characters in the game were done so extremely well. It's incredible. It is a masterpiece. The game is a love letter to all Spider-Man fans and gives us everything Spidey. It has so much Spidey crammed into it that it's insane. Now talking about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is an incredible movie with an amazing soundtrack and amazing visuals. Amazing characters and funny Spider-Man references and cliches that all of us Spider-Man fans can laugh at and appreciate. I mean, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has a whole freaking Christmas album available online. Yes, look it up, it's true. That album that was in the movie exists in real life. They put so many tiny little things in it that you just love. It's a beautiful movie with an amazing story and real consequences. It had the balls to do things that Homecoming didn't. Spider-Man PS4 had the balls to do things that Homecoming didn't. See, Homecoming isn't a bad movie, but it didn't make me fall in love with the character of Spider-Man like the last two Spider-Man products have. Spider-Man Homecoming didn't take any risks, and by that I mean they literally played it so safe that I'm surprised people like it so much. What do I mean by they played it safe? Well, think about it. When they started making Spider-Man Homecoming, they did something different from previous movies, and just listened to fans like they were slaves. The fans didn't want a Spider-Man origin story, so they didn't make an origin story. The fans wanted a younger Peter, so they gave them a younger Peter. The fans didn't want any trace of Uncle Ben, so they totally replaced Uncle Ben with a billionaire, rich playboy named Tony Stark. They took no risks in this movie and totally listened to what the fans wanted, which you wouldn't think would be a problem. You'd think that'd be good, but there's one tiny problem with that. Fans don't know what they want. Take Spider-Man PS4 and Into the Spider-Verse. Both of those products were made by people who loved Spider-Man, by fans, people who were in love with the character of Spider-Man and knew what to listen to that fans wanted, but also knew what not to listen to. Both of these products did their own thing and stuck with the true character of Spider-Man. And what do you get? You get a game that's one of the highest ranked games of 2018, and you get a movie that's ranked 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, if I'm correct, and 10 Carters out of 10 on the Carter Rotten Tomatoes scale. I liked Homecoming, but I loved Spider-Man PS4 and Into the Spider-Verse. Now, getting back on subject, Spider-Man Far From Home. What are my thoughts on Spider-Man Far From Home? Well, it looks interesting. It looks exciting and fun. I'm definitely excited for it and look forward to seeing it in theaters. However, I just hope that they take some tips from what Spider-Man PS4 and Into the Spider-Verse have done. Listen to the fans. Yes, listen. You don't have to obey the fans. Listen to them. See what they want and think about if it's really Spider-Man. It's okay to take risks, Marvel. Give the audience something different than what they wanted. The fans will see that they were wrong about what they wanted, or there was something they didn't know they wanted. Just stick true to the character. Do things that fans don't expect. Do things no one asked for but everyone would like. Spider-Man PS4, no one asked for half the crap that they stuffed into that game, but they gave it to them. In Spidey fashion, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, no one asked for a movie with Spider-Ham, Spider-Man Noir, and Penny Parker in it. Anime Spider-Man. But they gave it to them. No one asked for a movie about Spider-Man from different universes, to be completely honest. But they went above and beyond audiences' expectations and created a love letter to all Spider-Man fans. A movie and a game crammed with everything Spider-Man, crammed with everything everyone loves about Spider-Man. All the cliches, all the villains, they are just packed with everything Spider-Man. The amazing world of Spider-Man. Look, I know I'm asking for a lot here, and we may not get it in Spider-Man Far From Home. And even if we don't get it, I will still most likely enjoy the movie and like it a lot. But if there's anything I've learned from the latest Spider-Man stuff, it's to go above and beyond audiences' expectations. To quote Ryan Intar, I don't know how to say his last name, the creative director of the Spider-Man PS4 game. The best thing about making a Spider-Man game is that you're making a Spider-Man game. I think that logic needs to be applied to every Spider-Man project that comes out. Every movie, every game, every TV show, every cartoon, every comic series. From now on, let's remind people what they love about Spider-Man. Let the audience fall into the amazing world that is Spider-Man. This doesn't just go for a Spider-Man Far From Home. This goes for everyone wanting to make a Spider-Man project. Let's make Spider-Man take over your story and cram it with everything Spidey. Because, hey, you're making a story about Spider-Man. Freaking Spider-Man. A character that people have looked up to and aspired to be for 50 plus years now. It's a lot of power. And with great power comes great responsibility. Thanks for watching, guys.